Discover the locations that shape the Ohio Valley, Heart of the Neighborhood, sponsored by Harvey Goodman.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex Taylor from WTRF 7 News, and I'm here with Bill Hott from Bob's Lunch, and this is part of our new Heart of the Neighborhood series. Bill, thank you for being here with me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Tell me a little bit about Bob's Lunch here in Moundsville.
Well, it was opened in 1947 up on Jefferson Avenue, and it's been kind of a staple in the community ever since. I mean, when I talked to a guy that was 97 years old when I first bought this, and he said, I was there the first day. They had a big brass band, they had a big ribbon cutting, and he said, my father and mother took me in, and we were the first ones to eat here. And he said, I've been coming ever since. And the people that come here, a lot of people come every day. Some people come twice a day. We feed between 450 to 500 people every day.
Wow.
And we've got a staff that's phenomenal. I mean, almost all of them have been here forever. And they've all worked together one way or another for a lot of years. So everybody's in sync.
You told me that you bought this place and you actually feel like you're the person that's worked here the shortest amount of time.
I am.
That's the family you have here.
Because nobody leaves. You know, nobody wants to leave. You know, so it is a family. And basically, I probably bust more tables than anybody, and I probably take out more food than most people. And when I first started doing that, they looked at me like I had two heads. He said, what are you doing? I said, well, my dad always taught me never to ask somebody to do something you wouldn't do yourself. And so I enjoy it. Plus, I talk to people all day.
It's that hometown feel.
Great people. Well, and I lived in Moundsville for 25 years, and so I knew a lot of people. And I lived in Wheeling for the last 25 years, so Wheeling and thereabouts for the last 25 years. So a lot of people that come in here, like I hadn't seen them in like 25 or 30 years. So it's been kind of like a homecoming.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? And we used to come here and eat, you know, before. So I always liked the place. I brought my wife in here when I was looking to buy it. And she looked around and she said, well, it could use some updating. I said, oh no, we don't change anything. It's done very well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I agree with that.
And I will tell you this, and you can cut this if you want, but I will tell you this, that the only thing that I changed in the first 6 months was the ply of the toilet paper.
Well, I think that anyone can appreciate that.
Yeah, that's customer comfort.
Yes, it is. Perfect customer service, don't you think? We were talking before we sat down here formally, and you told me that you've owned businesses across the nation.
I have.
But you came home.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I never left. I did it from here.
Oh, my.
Actually, my headquarters was in Benwood. Nobody knew what we did. People used to ask my kids, what does your dad do in that building? And my kids would say, I don't know, but he makes money.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great thing to know about your dad. But you had a hand all across the nation, but to come home and be hometown, and you said you tried to retire a couple of times.
Yeah.
Didn't stick?
Didn't stick.
Well, that makes sense too, getting to know you.
I got to be busy.
I get it. It really is the heart of the neighborhood. When I was driving down the street, I don't often come to Moundsville, but when I'm here, I felt like, you know, this did feel like that hometown diner.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what it is.
Well, even when we had like 9 inches of snow not too long ago.
Oh, yeah.
We still opened on holidays and stuff like that. We still open New Year's Day and whatnot. And it's not that there's going to be a rash of people, but that there are so many people that rely on this. When they get up in the morning, they come here to breakfast, and most of them know each other. And there's people who come in here every day for lunch. There's people who come in here every day for dinner. And so if I close down for a day for whatever reason, then they got to figure out someplace else to eat.
This is part of their home, an extension of their home.
They don't like it.
They want to be here.
That's right.
Talk about the building itself a little bit.
Well, this building, I'm not exactly what year it was built, but like I said, the restaurant actually started up on Jefferson Avenue. And then I think that they've been in this building for probably about 40, 50 years.
Wow.
Maybe. And Gary Workman, who's been a friend of mine for almost 50 years, owned it he was the last owner before me, and he was here for a long time. and then he decided he wanted to retire. He decided he wanted to retire because he was almost 70, and I was 70 when I bought it.
You decided you weren't ready to retire at
wasn't ready to
70.
retire. That's
New
right.
business adventure.
Yeah.
In this whole series, sponsored by Harvey Goodman, is called Heart of the Neighborhood. And like I said, it feels like that here. It felt like that when we walked in here today.
Yeah.
You're saying people rely on you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day to the same people.
Right.
Invite the community to come out, maybe if they aren't from Moundsville.
Well, and the thing of it is we get a lot of referrals. Like Ogilvy at Wilson Lodge, like if people come in from out of town and they want a good home cooked meal, they'll send them down. We'll get 25 or 30 people all at once.
Wow.
It just comes down from there. So we get a lot of referrals. And every year we get, the best breakfast of the year, all the restaurants and all this different things. And we got all kinds of rewards for that. And it's been going on for 30 years like that. So it's not something that I can't take credit for that because I didn't put this business model together, but there are things that we're doing differently. We're expanding our specials and stuff like that, and bringing cabbage rolls and stuff, that the older people like, and the younger
or
people
the younger
like too.
people, I was going to say, am I an older person? I love a cabbage roll.
But my wife's Italian, and
Yes.
she's big on different things that I necessarily isn't in my repertoire of food. Okay, like cabbage rolls and sausage and peppers and stuff like that. But I would venture to say that we probably sell more liver and onions than anybody in this valley.
I can't say I would know anyone to top that off the top of my head.
Yeah.
What would you say your number one most ordered meal is here?
Oh, breakfast is huge.
Yes.
I mean, we go through more eggs. It's unbelievable. And in fact, I'm glad that the egg crisis went away before I bought it, because during that whole time, never raised any prices because of the mistakes that Washington made, So everybody just knows that they can come in here and get a really good meal. It's good quality food. There's nothing cheap, and at the price.
We're sitting right in the corner. Obviously, our cameras can't see what we're seeing, but you really are the heart of the neighborhood. You are in the middle of the residential neighborhood right here on this corner.
We're just a block off of Jefferson, and people will come in, older people. When the high school used to be over there, it's just a couple of blocks away. So the kids would even come here for lunch, if they didn't want to eat the lunch at school.
It's a little better than a cafeteria lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything before we go that you want to say to the community or point out about Bob's Lunch?
No, not really. I mean, the bottom line is that we're here for them. It's their restaurant and I'm live.
I love that. Thank you so much for sitting down with us today, Bill. I appreciate it so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in to watch Heart of the Neighborhood, sponsored by Harvey Goodman, and we'll see you next time.
Heart of the Neighborhood is proudly sponsored by Harvey Goodman.